Thank you for watching one video of mine and then determining what I teach about. Because obviously you have not seen enough of my videos to know what I actually do teach that is better than your Bible, that is more loving and will educate humanity further than what your Bible has ever done, which would also make humanity a much better species on the planet. You obviously have not seen any of those videos, so let me go ahead and clue you in on a whole bunch of those things real quick. Now, you said what you like about the Bible is that it can stand alone as a book that can educate and better humanity without having to mention anyone else's belief. Well, you just demonstrated that you haven't read your Bible. That maybe you have just read those choice things that the pastor will tell you, but that you have ignored everything else. Almost a theme that consistently goes throughout the Old Testament is your God speaking about other religions. He talks about the men, if they have sex with the Midianite women or the Moabite women, they're going to go over to that religion and follow that God. It talks about the Prince of Persia and the god Shamash, and Gabriel losing a battle to that god. Your God is pissed off because they start worshiping a golden calf, which if they were actually coming out of Egypt, then that would have been an Egyptian deity to which they were worshiping. That he guards against them even leaving people alive through many of his genocides because they may begin to worship the other god, and your God is a jealous God. Your book constantly talks about the other Levantian gods and Egyptian gods that people believed in. So to say that your book doesn't talk about other gods, that would be incorrect. That would be incorrect. He even goes as far as to say that Elion, the God on high, gave Yahweh, the Israelites, to Yahweh as his portion, and portioned out all the other B'nai Elohim, all the other sons of God, which is a direct correlation to what happened in the Sumerian story when Anu decided to portion out the people to the different Anunnakis, those of royal bloodline. So that statement, sir, that you made is incorrect. And you said if someone is sick, you don't constantly tell them how sick they are. Yeah, you give them a full diagnosis of what the sickness is. I cannot just tell you, hey, you have cancer. No, I have to tell you what the cancer is, what type of cancer is, how it spread, what feeds it, what conditions that you need to put your body into in order to destroy it, what caused you to be in this cancerous state from the very beginning. No, as a doctor, if I was a doctor, I'm not, I would definitely tell the person everything about their ailment, which is what doctors do. They tell you every aspect of your ailment. And you said you give them the remedy. Well, the remedy of a person who initially has cancer is that you'd have to cut the cancer out. You have to attack the cancer. Just like with any other sickness, you have to attack the sickness. So you do have to root it out. You have to dig it out in its roots. You have to get rid of it in its totality. So when it comes to religion, we have to dig it out. We have to get rid of it in its totality. We have to remove it from all frameworks of our mind so that we can then truly have the remedy. You see, you can't have the remedy if it's still filled with what makes you sick. You see, I can't pour wine in this glass if it's still coffee in it. And for all y'all, I don't drink black coffee, so don't even make the comment. I have to empty the cup first. So in order for somebody to be able to receive something that is better for them than what they have already been receiving, you have to pour it all out. You have to empty the cup, right? As long as you're still trying to hold on to Jesus, I can't pour anything into you. As long as you're still trying to hold on to Yahweh, Jehovah El, I cannot pour anything into you. There is something much better, and I talk about it constantly. I talk about Hermetic alchemy constantly. So let me give you a little bit, even though I know it wouldn't make a difference with you because your cup is already full. And I'm just going to give you a couple of tenets that will make humanity more enlightened and better. In Hermetic alchemy, it does have the similarity of your book where it says that you should that you should treat others how you desire to be treated. that you don't do anything to anybody that you wouldn't want done to yourself. And your book goes a little bit further and say that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's an impossibility of thought. There is absolutely no way that I could love a stranger, love my neighbor the same way that I love myself. Now, you can take that one and just renegotiate it into treat others how you want to be treated. But the word love there is very strong. Just like I don't use the word friend to everyone, because to be my friend, that means a lot. That means that I'm going to do for you what I would do for myself, as long as I'm not injuring myself. That I would defend you when you are in the right and help rehabilitate you when you are in the wrong. But I will still maintain a love for you for that. Now, my neighbor, I don't know my neighbor. I'm not going to feed my neighbor like I would feed myself, clothe my neighbor like I'm going to clothe myself, roof my neighbor like I would roof myself. Those things are just not going to happen. But in Hermetic Alchemy, you are to treat people exactly how you desire to be treated. I don't want to be stolen from. I don't want to be murdered. I don't want to be raped. I don't want to be coveted. So I don't do those things myself. But what further enlightens people who study Hermetic Alchemy is the understanding of how the natural universe functions. You see, in your book, what you are taught is that you have done nothing other than what this God has allowed you to do. You are not worthy other than this God sacrificing himself to himself through a human sacrifice in order for you to become worthy. Whereas in Hermetic Alchemy, you are deemed worthy from day one. You are deemed worthy by the power of mentalism. The power of mentalism says that whatever you manifest in your mind, whatever you create in your mind, you can then create it in the physical plane. But that creation happens because you then have to be able to recognize the polarity. You see, if we understood the pole, then we would understand integrity. You see, I can't look and say that it's hot outside. I can't look and say that it's cold outside. Because what's hot to me may be cold to you, and what's cold to me may be hot to you. But what we can agree upon is the truth, and that is the temperature in combination with the wind chill determines what the actual the feel like temperature is. So although I was sitting in the sun earlier, it's too hot and this shirt is too thick. You may have been perfectly fine out there. I'm sitting in the shade, so this may be too cold for you. This is perfect for me. Plus those bumblebees they don't like the shade, and I'm trying to stay away from them. But understanding polarity gives you an understanding of what things are truly and not what you want to perceive them to be. Your perception then comes secondary to that. Then when you understand the law of vibration and the law of cause and effect, you realize that if you want things to rise to a higher vibration, then you have to increase your causation to make it go into that higher vibration. Christians don't do that. You wait, you pray, you wait, you pray. You say, God, give me this. God, please, please, please alleviate. Please come down. Please do this. Please do that. No. In Hermetic Alchemy, we understand that it is you who must determine what the vibrational pattern is going to be based on your causation. And when you're in the midst of your causation, you have to have a balance of the masculine and feminine energy in order to make it function the way you desire for it to function. Too much masculinity and it goes one way, too much femininity and it goes another way. Some things require more masculinity than feminism. Some things needs more feminism than masculinity. And this is just talking about energy, not gender. So when it comes to the nurturing of a child, it requires more feminine energy. When it comes to the instructions of a child, it requires more masculine energy. And to understand the balance of the two energy in order to produce what you desire to produce, that is true alchemy. The reason why I don't have children who have gotten involved in drugs and gang banging and murdering and raping and all these sorts of things is because they were given at the best ability, the right amount of feminism, the right amount of masculinity, based on their personalities and how they think and how they move. Now, if everybody did that, we would understand, and we would have a greater generation that comes after us. If everybody understands the truth of a thing, that there is no such thing as race, but that race is a man-made creation, and that the only thing that separates us is our character. That is the separation of a good or a bad person. And that's based on our subjective morality. You see, so Hermetic Alchemy does teach you better than your Bible ever could, because there's no genocide in it. There's no raping, no murdering, none of those things. So you have a great day. And remember, always, you got to free yourself to be yourself.